Hey, and welcome to FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode. Hey, and welcome to this FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast. Today I'm talking alone as I'm recording solo episode of, and the episode is the art of staying full while losing weight. So in this episode, I'm going through all my best strategies, what I use with my clients, how you can stay fuller in a deficit when you are trying to lose weight, because this is the most problematic topic, because it's so hard if you are all the time hungry, and if you are eating also on the opposite, if you are eating very little calories and you are not hungry, that is also, there is something wrong. I will talk about it a little bit later, but because the honest truth is that calorie deficit sucks, losing weight sucks. It's something what you can't get out of. It's not making a lot of fun trying to lose weight, but I hope that these tips, what I'm going to provide you in this episode, make it to suck a little bit less, as hunger is one of those things that you don't want to be feeling. And even there is some signs, like if I tell a little bit my own personal story, when I go in a deficit, I'm trying to lose weight and fat, I always, it's some kind of sign like that I feel a little bit hungry. I feel a little bit that like it's not that I'm not starving, but when I go to bed and if I'm not, for example, if I'm not tracking my calories, because I have done it in the past several times, but at this point, I'm not tracking my calories accurately. I know from the fact how about my protein intake, about what I have been eating, and from the feeling when I go into a bed, that if I'm a little bit, my belly is like kind of crawling a little bit. It's not that I'm starving, but I feel a little bit hungry. I'm not feeling full. That is for me sign that now I'm actually in a deficit. It's very hard to recognize, and it took me for years of mistakes, and I still struggle, but now more or less I know when I'm in a deficit. And then obviously how you know if you are actually in a deficit, it's a long-term progress. And scale weight it's a one way. It's a great way to measure your progress in the long term. You should still not try to care too much about those daily values, as regardless what you are doing, the scale is going to fluctuate. There will be days that you hit everything what you need to do. You are doing it perfectly, but your scale weight is going up. And this is something what most people struggle, that they think that they're doing perfectly everything as they are, but when scale is not moving, they think that they are doing something wrong. They end up quitting just before it was about to work. And that's why I recommend always, if you are trying to lose weight, measure your progress in a different ways. The best ways to measure your fat loss progress is to take pictures and take measurements as well. And the scale weight, how I measure it and what I recommend to all my clients, is to measure yourself every single day at the same time, ideally in the morning, just after being in the toilet, but track only your average weight per week. So if you multiply or sum all your weights together, divided by 7, you get one number per week. And that is what you are going to compare in the long term. So because this is taking kind of, if you are someone who is struggling with emotions with the scale, it's just the data. scale is fucking just the data. It's just it's one number what that machine is giving you. And there are so many, I can tell from experience working with hundreds of people, that there are some people tend to lose weight in the beginning a lot faster than they actually should. And some people might be losing a little bit less what they should be losing in the beginning, or they don't lose at all, or they might even gain weight, especially if they are starting with some new form of exercise, like strength training, as your body is holding temporarily a little bit more water, but you are still, if you are in a deficit, you are losing fat in overall. And the best way is that when you measure your weight every single day, take average weight and seeing where the trend is going. So more data you have to track your progress, less frustrated you're going to feel, as you are going to see if those things are actually working or not. So going to this topic of this episode as it's a satiety and feeling less hungry. So that is the most important thing, that you are not starving yourself, because if you try to just focus on your discipline, focus on your willpower, how much you can restrict, we are all very good. If you have a little bit willpower, you are able to do it for short while, maybe usually it's a couple of weeks, maybe month, but then at some point you are going to put that fuck off card and tell it that what's the point, I can't do it anymore. And then that's usually the point when you are going to overeat and tell that what is the point, I'm not seeing results what I wanted to see. And you are hungry, your energy levels are low, your sleep is probably not as great as it should be, and it's endless cycle. So this is why that satiety and feeling fullness is so important if you want to lose weight and keep it off. So how to then, which kind of foods you should be eating, and what are the most satiating foods? So there are basically two different type of foods. So first one is always protein, that you probably already know. I know there are many people who don't know. They know that protein is important, but they don't know what kind of difference eating enough protein makes for your satiety. And the next one is fiber. So fiber is also most satiating kind of macronutrient, even it's not like so official macronutrient, but kind of type of foods. When you eat enough or a lot of fiber, you are going to feel less hungry. It's most satiating per calories. And I'm going to give you a little bit later, like exact tips how to actually do it, how much protein, how much fiber you should be eating. And then third thing is hydration, drinking enough water, because it's often if you are not sure, like if you are actually hungry or you might be actually just thirsty, and drinking enough water and hydration, that is, or lack of hydration, that's the one of the most common struggles my clients are consistently having. And I'm going to give you also some strategies how to increase your water intake, as that is something what most people are still struggling. So what foods then to focus on? For example, for protein, like I always recommend like that there is, if you look at research, science, there is some, like if you go some health, World Health Generation or your own country, what they are recommending, and they are recommending those amounts of protein. What they are recommending are basically just to keep you alive. And it's not, there's a huge difference if your goal is to keep your body just alive, or if you are going to actually change your body composition, if it's either gaining muscle mass or losing fat without losing too much muscle mass. And that's the part where the protein is becoming so important. Plus it gives that feeling of fullness, satiety, and that is the most important macronutrient if your goal is to lose body fat. And those protein goals, like I said, that some health associations are recommending, they might recommend 50 grams of protein, like 0.6, 0.7 grams per kilo body weight. And that is, I would say, that is amount to keep your body alive. And if you want to change your body composition, amount should be a lot higher. And if you look research for body composition, good amounts are 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilo body weight. And obviously it depends like how much weight you have, how much you have to lose. And it's now it might be a little bit even too high in my opinion. And what I recommend that if you take your whole body weight and for example, if you use pounds, it could be 1 gram of protein per pound body weight. So if you are weighing now 200 pounds, your goal is 160 pounds, 160 grams of protein is your goal body weight. And it's the same thing if your goal is if you use kilograms, I would say that close to 2 grams per kilo body weight. So if your goal body weight is 75 kilos, it's 150 grams of protein. So this is giving kind of what would be the goal. And obviously, if you don't know how much protein you are eating, what I always recommend where to get started, how to increase your protein intake is to look what you are currently eating. Because every habit, it starts that not trying to find the perfect plan right away, but just simply looking what you are currently doing and then trying to think ways. This is my coaching philosophy too, that I'm never telling to my clients what they should be eating, because you should be able to eat foods what you actually love. And the best way is to first become aware what you are currently doing and then trying to find some and implement some strategies how to increase your protein intake. As many people, they know that, protein is important. They try to eat more protein, but they are not even close to their protein goals. And this is that when you know that, okay, this is my 130 grams of protein. That's my protein goal. I'm going to aim for that. And then it starts. Next step is that what you are currently doing. What are your protein sources? And then learning from foods, what you are eating on daily basis. And the best way, how I do it, if you track your foods using some apps, like I have my own apps for my clients, and I'm controlling everything what they are eating. And then it's just basically back-to-back conversation, how you could be adding. And my job is to provide strategies, provide maybe different recipe ideas, what you feel that, oh, this one is something what works for me. But the best way, what I have seen that works for the most people, the best is that when you figure out yourself what kind of foods, this is something what I enjoy, this I could be doing for the next weeks or months or years. And this is then you are finding something great. Because if somebody else is telling you gotta eat this, and if you naturally don't enjoy it, it will be unfortunately a matter of time before you quit, before you say that I can't take it. And if you don't know what your protein goal should be, I will add a link to my calorie calculator to show notes, so you can get that your calorie protein goal from show notes, and then using whatever tracking app you have. And like I said, that is what I have for all my coaching programs, is in my membership coaching, one-on-one coaching, is those calorie goals. I will set them for you individually. You have my tracking apps, introductions, how to do it, what you need to do, like where to get basically all information, so you can learn for yourself. Or obviously if it's a one-on-one coaching, then it's kind of hand holding. I'm supporting you all the way, and we are talking, I'm controlling what you are eating, giving you feedback, providing you ideas, asking questions, and so on. So that is how coaching is working. But you can do it by yourself too, if you are a person who want to who are kind of like that, I want to try it by myself. And then when you think like a protein sources, I'm not going to go through this all kind of lists. There is great tools like a Google, or what I personally love to use is ChatGPT. ChatGPT, like if you don't enjoy using tracking apps, for example, if you just write down foods what you are currently eating, like as accurate as possible. You don't need to use food scale or anything. You just write, like I had one chicken breast or whatever foods you were eating, and more accurate those portion sizes are. Even they are not measured by grams, what is obviously like the most accurate way. But if you get like a pretty close information, it's pretty good. And if you write write that count my calorie and protein intake, or it's giving you pretty accurate estimate. And then the next step, how I like to do it, is always planning ahead, as planning ahead is such an important skill. So when you are planning ahead day for the next day, and that using that in your tracking app, like you don't need to plan all your meals, but if you plan, for example, only your protein sources and tracking that already for the next day. So what I always recommend, that if I think my own diet, I have created systems. I'm a person who eats similar breakfast or same protein sources for breakfast every single day. And my goal is like, I'm aiming for 160 grams of protein, as my weight is at the moment is 90 kilos. And I aim at least 160 grams of protein every single day. And I have created systems that I get 75 grams before my lunch already, as that is for me what works the best. Like earlier in the day, I get my protein in, less hungrier I will feel rest of the day. And as I'm a person who tends to eat, who loves food, I literally love everything. I love to eat too much. And unfortunately, even I love my mom from bottom of my heart, but she learned me a very bad skill that I have to finish my plate, and I'm still struggling. Even I know that I should not be doing it, but I really struggle to leave something behind, or if there is leftovers, I know I should be putting them back, using them later, but it's still consistent struggle. And sometimes I remember it, sometimes not, but I have seen that if I have eaten enough protein, especially earlier in the day, I feel less hungrier later on. And that's why what I do personally, I have my smoothie, and there is always, I have 250 grams of either skyr or Greek yogurt, which gives me around 25 grams of protein. I add a scoop of unflavored protein powder, and that is another 25 grams. And then I do have one snack. It's going to be, usually I enjoy eating cottage cheese, or I might have another protein shake before lunch, depending where I am. If I have access to cottage cheese, I try to prefer having it from natural sources, but sometimes, it's just more easier for me to get some protein shake if I can't bring my cottage cheese or other protein sources with me. But with those two meals, I have 75 grams of protein already before lunch. So even I'm not planning always my lunches or dinner protein sources, as I don't have always, I can't impact what I'm going to eat. I have, even in my worst day, I have already 75 grams before lunch. And that has been such a great help. And for you, if you looked at what you are going to eat, if you track only your protein sources, for example, breakfast, what your protein sources are going to be. If it's like, in this case, Greek yogurt, 250 grams. If you are eating 100 grams, okay, you have 10 grams. Then next question is that, okay, you see that lunch, I'm going to have chicken. Dinner, it's going to be shrimps, for example. How much you're going to eat. When you add them into your tracking app, you will see that how much protein you are actually going to eat and going to get on that day with those protein sources. And then when you are doing it, the next question, if you are not even close to your protein goal, next question, what I always ask for myself is that, could I be eating more of that? So could I be eating, instead of 100 grams of yogurt, could I be eating 150? Could I be eating a little bit more to protein source what I'm about to eat? And that's the simplest way to add more protein. And then thinking like, okay, could I be adding maybe some snack? Could I be adding something else? And first, always asking what you could be adding. So this is the simplest tip for protein intake, what I always recommend, and what you should be aiming for too. So then other thing is fiber. So there's many, I'm not going to list any sources here, but just giving you a little bit strategies how to get that fiber. So fiber, or there is some vegetables, fruits, whole grains, which are great sources. How much fiber you should be eating? Recommendation is 14 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories you are eating. So for most women, it's 20. If you are, let's say, 2,000 calories, it's 28 grams. And for males, if your calorie intake is around 2,500, it's 35 grams. So this is basic principle, and exactly the same way how you could, if you look what you are currently doing, how much fiber you are actually getting with the food you are eating on a regular basis, and then thinking ways how you could you be adding, for example, simplest way is to add some snack. Are you having some fruit? Are you having some vegetables or whole grains, or swapping those things, for example, for whole grains to increase your fiber intake. So this is for me personally, like I said, I eat smoothie, so I have there always some kind of fruit, so 2, 3, 4 fruits or berries, and those are already for me, even in my worst day, as I have that habit on daily basis. Obviously, I change fruits, I change berries. I love to use seasonal stuff. I always have one banana just for taste a little bit, that giving that kind of sweetness. But for you, if you think just the ways and looking what you are getting, and fiber it's something that I don't personally enjoy tracking too much, as you know, I eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of salads, try to eat when possible whole grains, but and that I think that it's for me personally, it's working pretty okay, and even in my worst day. So this is something what you want to also probably take a look, and even it's not every day is not going to be perfect, but just thinking what kind of habits you are, as adding things, it's a lot easier than starting to take away, as most people who are trying to lose weight, they are first thing is only restriction mindset and taking things away instead of adding them. And when you do it in the opposite way, it's a lot easier to, if your goal is to, for example, lose weight, if your goal is to add more protein, add more fiber, and as end results, you are going to have a lot less sweet cravings. You are going to be less hungry, and automatically, without even noticing, you are going to eat less and have less cravings. So you are going to eat less. It's the end result. It's the same. It's just a different mindset, how you are going to approach it. So this is what I love using, these kind of strategies, instead of taking things away, trying to add things, and they make everything so much easier. So what kind of foods then to avoid? Like that is something like that. If you think like that, what gives you more fullness? If you are not aware how many calories you are currently eating, take a look what you are eating. What kind of snacks you have. Like if I look around when people are snacking, they are taking, here in Italy, we have crackers, kind of simple things, or you have some chocolate bar, or kind of potato chips, or refined carbs, and so on. And if I think that, oh my God, those, if you think like that, how much food you are eating, volumes, they are going to be so low with so many calories. Obviously, you want to have that taste, but nowadays there's so many options available, which are also tasty with less calories, maybe some higher protein. And for example, for me, if I crave some chocolate, I love chocolate. But now what I have seen that works very well for me is that instead of having chocolate, I might have 1 or 2 pieces every single day. That's what I usually have. But then if I'm craving more, then I'm going into a protein powder, or no, protein bar, as that is giving kind of that same sweetness, or using some protein puddings, or that kind of, instead of that normal protein. Like, it's not probably the most optimal way, but still always the better option than those sugary ones. So these kind of options just give you idea of what you could be doing to also have some kind of enjoyment, because nobody wants to have that your diet is just rice and broccoli and chicken, because that you want to enjoy life also. And just just those kind of liquid calories, they are like having some cokes or something. They are so empty calories what you are drinking if you are drinking your calories. I used to drink earlier a lot of diet soda or regular soda, and then I changed it for diet soda, and I was drinking way too much. I'm not telling that it's bad, but I would not recommend to. There is some studies which are showing that it's not probably the most beneficial, but still completely safe, especially if you compare it that otherwise you drink some regular soda. Diet soda is obviously better option, but I would limit it like maybe 1 or 2 cans per day, as too much of anything might be a little bit too much, and there is not too much from research yet. There might be some effects, but it's still safe, so you don't need to be scared of doing it. But I would still try to limit it for not too much, or if you drink some kind of like if you look, there's those kind of healthy green juices. If you look what is inside, it's full of calories. You are drinking it, you don't feel fuller after that, and you take kind of same or a lot of calories in with just which is sold you with a healthy green juice or whatever. But if you look calories, you might be surprised that there might be like half-liter bottle of some green juice might have 400 calories. So it's one meal of drinking half-liter of some green juice, and you think that you are doing drinking some healthy stuff. So be careful with everything. So it's all about those, like I said, that snacking, for example, in evening. Other strategies, what I love to use for myself, because I struggle with evening snacking, and what I love to have kind of rules for myself. I love using calorie rules. Like what worked very well, I set the limit for 300 calories. So it was after dinner. I love to watch TV and snack all the time, as I love food, like I said. But how I said it was the 300 calories, and that gives me an option. So if I feel that I'm hungry, I could have, for example, Greek yogurt, which has low-fat Greek yogurt, 10 grams of protein with around 60 calories per 100 grams. So I could have 200 grams of 300 grams of Greek yogurt with, for example, strawberries. I love strawberries. They are so delicious here in Italy, especially in summertime when they are fresh. So which they have 30 calories per 100 grams. So let's say that I would take 300 grams of strawberries. I have 90 calories. Then I would have 350 grams, 300 calories, 300 grams of Greek yogurt. So I have a lot of food with the 300 calories. And then some other days, if I want to have that chocolate, I want to have that sweet real thing and not some protein bar or anything what is not the same thing. Because if you tell that it's the same thing, it's not. But obviously amounts what I'm allowed to eat with my 300 calorie budget, it's going to be totally different. So this is something what changes that kind of way of thinking, because many people, what I learned, Tessa was the best example in our Facebook group, in a private group. Like she came to me, she started, like she had a 1 cheat day per week. And that was always like, usually that 1 cheat day wasn't enough. So she was always overeating and eating above the point, because she was thinking that now it's my cheat day, it's on Saturday, and I'm going to eat everything I want because tomorrow I'm not allowed to. And we changed it. And she struggled with the weight, as within 1 day, it's easy to go over your calories that much that you are not going to see, even you are spot on 6 Saturdays, you are not going to see a lot of progress, as you are going to eat so much on that 1 day. And usually what often happens also with the Tessa was that 1 day was not enough. Then one bad day turned out into a bad weekend. And that kind of mindset that I start them all over on Monday or next Monday or whatever. And when we changed that, she had to eat. She had the 300 calorie budget, or you can make up your number. But when she had the 300 calorie budget, so it was every single day. It was a couple of pieces of chocolate. And this is kind of approach I love using myself also. And that changed the whole thing. There was not that urge to overeat, go over with one those foods what you love eating because you are allowed, and you should be eating them every single day. And this is just an idea how this could help you to find your way how to think it. So then next thing is about water intake. So this is the third most important thing is hydration. So many people are complicating that you have to drink 3 liters or gallon per day or whatever. There is no single amount. It's for every person different. It depends on where you are living, how hot temperature outside is. But what is the good indicator? When you are going to toilet, your pee is light colored, and that's enough. When it's not, it's time to drink more. And usually more you are drinking, easier everything else is going. And this is something what I personally love using. Like I share a couple of my best tricks, what I love to use, like for my clients. If they have a, let's say, half-liter water bottle, they put 6 rubber bands around the bottle, and after bottle is empty, they remove 1 rubber band. So you kind of stay on track. Or if you have that kind of water bottle which shows that how much you have been eating, so what you are tracking, you pay attention. And this is just a simple way. And other thing is like that, those habits, like what I have, what I thought is the thing that what you are currently doing. So if you are, for example, eating, I love using, like, first thing in the morning, when I get up, I drink big glass of water. Then I drink glass of water before every meal. I drink big glass of water after every meal. So let's say that I have my breakfast, I have lunch, I have my dinner, I have 3 meals. I have already 6 glasses of water in my worst day. So this is like a kind of course, water. It's not hard to do. We often forget it, but if you have it, if you put it kind of into a habit, what you already have, for example, during meal times, as that is a simple thing. If you think it, okay, I drink glass of water before I start eating. When I'm done with eating, I drink another glass of water, as that is giving you feeling that fullness, and making sure that you are actually hydrated. And then if you are in having a desk, so you have your bottle visible all the time. So more when you have it visible, more chances are again that you are going to remember drinking. So water intake, it helps you. It's there is some studies. It might help a little bit boosting your metabolism. So this is just the strategies how you could be adding more hydration. So these were now the most beneficial strategies. So adding things, just to recap: protein, fiber, making sure first step always to become aware how much you are currently eating, and then thinking what you are currently eating. Could you be adding more of those things where you could get more, and planning it ahead. Even if you don't plan your whole meals ahead, plan your protein sources, and then start that kind of thinking process every time over proteins. What is going to be my protein source for lunch? Okay, it's going to be chicken. What I could be eating with chicken, is it going to be rice, potatoes, whatever, salad? So those are just giving you examples how to start adding things instead of taking them away. And those, for me personally, if I use, obviously I'm not using it. I would be lying if I tell you that I use the 300 calorie rule every single day. No, but because it's not, there is moments that it's not going to work. But if I'm in that phase, I want to lose my body fat. As most of the year, I try to maintain. I like to feeling good in my workouts, having enough energy. But if I have something that I want to now, it's enough, I need to change my body composition, I want to lose weight, then I create those rules and I make sure I stick with them. So it's whatever rule you make, it gives you like these kind of rules, that 300 calories per day, your kind of treat bank or foods you enjoy eating. It gives you that freedom that you are allowed to eat. There is no absolutely that you can't have something, but you have that option that if someday you want to have more chocolate or some sweet stuff, then go for it. But then it's not going to be anything else. So it's on every day something different. So this was And this is something what I love. If you are interested working, I'm starting, this episode is coming out on end of November. In January there's going to be 8-week challenge. Those results what we have got were amazing. There were people from different part of, there was from America, from Europe, from Asia. So from all over the world, and the principles are the same. Obviously, foods are going to be different, but when someone was in situation, Jacqueline was in situation that she has been in a deficit for, or in that restriction mindset for 7 years. And now when we set her calories, she went to maintenance, did strength training. She started to see amazing results. Just not in the workouts, how she was feeling, energy levels raised, sleep was better, and so many benefits, or how she improved only in 8 weeks. Other one was Mieke from Netherlands, and Mieke was first time going to gym, and that was amazing win to start actually using free weights, understanding that nutrition part, how they are going hand in hand, and then just finding these, trying these, implementing these strategies. We are hanging out in a Facebook group, having weekly check-ins, and that challenge is going to kick off again in January. So I will put a link to join for waitlist. I don't have anything to sell you at the moment, but if you are interested to know when the registration is going to be open, it's going to start early 2024. You will get notified via email, and link is going to be in show notes. So I hope you see their insight. If you have any questions, I will add that my calorie calculator and protein goal. So if you don't know, that's going to be in show notes. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me, turo@fitmitturo.com. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would appreciate if you would share it in your Instagram story, or just for one friend. Send it email, DM, let me know what you think about this episode, and I will show you some love in my Instagram story, or because I love to hear your feedback, what your biggest takeaway was, what you learned, and if you have any ideas what you would like that I'm talking in these episodes. So thank you for being here, and talk to you soon.
Hold up, friend. Do you love FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to FitMitTuro Fitness Podcast.